Hi folks, greens. Now as you know I don't use any ready-made greens in watercolours. You don't really have to. My greens are made with cadmium yellow or whatever yellow you've got, Payne's grey or cadmium yellow and ultramarine, Payne's grey and cad yellow mixed with a bit of burnt sienna. To give realistic sort of greens, but I started without greens when I saw Ron Ransom for the first time. Well, I didn't see him, I saw a video. Remember the old cassette? It was circulating in our art club, and I watched this video and it was just amazing. At that time I was struggling with the round brushes and they're even harder to use than the hake really. And I was doing some Chinesey type of or Japanesey type of scenes, but right at the beginning of my watercolour career really. Although I started in my 20s, it wasn't until I was about 37 that I joined the art group, and then I made a sort of a quantum leap with the hake. Although it took a lot of practice, and 7 years ago when I started the YouTube channel, I hadn't done watercolours for about 15 years. I gave up in favour of oils. During that time I had a year's commission of painting 80 Venice impressionists, oil impressionists, for a gallery, and it was good for a couple of months, but I was working hard. The gallery wanted 2 canvases a week. Most of them weren't really good enough for the price he wanted for them, but some were, and he got his money back. And that came to an end. It went back to sale or return, and then the gallery shut. I don't think I had anything to do with that, but it was a good experience. But I carried on with the oil painting because that particular gallery, they said they wouldn't take anything under glass. It's oil painting, no acrylics, just oil paintings. And so I stayed with it, and I did quite a few, and I sold quite a few. But over 7 years ago, a friend was having trouble learning her with watercolours, and I gave her some tuition. And one on the day in, I don't know, December, January, she couldn't get to me. She was snowed in or iced in. The roads were too icy, and I told her to come over and, or no, not to come over, I'd do a video. Well, I didn't know how to do a video back then, 7 years ago. I'd only had the laptop for about 3 years. I watched YouTube, but I didn't know anything about making videos. But I did, but my daughter helped me. And that's where it all started. So, but it was watercolours really, that's what she wanted. And I carried on with the watercolours, and I look back at my early ones on YouTube. I have removed about 200 of them. They were directionless. They weren't very good because I was learning again to use the wonderful hake brush. But I stayed with it, and here we are today, over 7 years later, still making the videos and still doing watercolours, but interspersed mainly with oils. Not a great love. I've got lots of acrylic paints, but I'm not a lover of acrylic. It's not my thing. I like the variety that I can get with, and the blending I can get easily with the oils. But ashaka songu, to each his own. It's what you like. And so here we are, another watercolour. This is on the Fabriana £130 studio paper. It contains about 25% rag, and the rest is cellulose. But it does lift out very nicely, which is good for a cheap paper, because the water doesn't dry straight into the paper. It stays on the top, but gradually soaks in, as you'll see, because it's starting to buckle. But not as quickly as some of the more expensive rough papers, which are very absorbent. But this one, well, you have to make allowances for it. So let's start with some nice nice raw sienna. Raw sienna gives a nice warm tint behind the clouds. I'm going to do a watery scene. So when you do your sky, do your water. And I like a bit of light red with my water scenes. Just do your water when you do your sky. Then you've got the right sort of. I'm having to the Winsor & Newton Cotman ultramarine is not great. It's not very strong. In other words, it's okay. That'll do. Just get a bit more blue and red up the top. Now, while the paper's this wet, you can do quite a bit with it. But once it starts to dry in, and you have to beware. And you never know how these are going to turn out. That's the beauty of watercolour. Now, I'm going to reclip, and then I'm going to stretch it with my fingers. Get it nice and flat. Ooh. Right, okay. So you never know, and I think because the board is about 30 degrees, you get a bit of separation between the colours. The pigments, they sort of separate out, and you get a lovely grainy surface. But I'm going to fix that. When I say fix, I mean fix it in stone. There we go. Well, there we are. So that's fixed. That's not going to go anywhere. The paper is very vulnerable when it's when the shine is just starting to go from the surface. When the water starts to dry in, that's the time to leave it alone or dry it with a hairdryer. Okay, so I want some islands and things. So we'll let's get some of that colour. Right, I don't want to go any further because I want to put something coming down both sides. Now, this is a dodgy time. It's soaking in now, but I want to get some bit of greeny colour, a blue green, but not very strong. Okay, we'll get some dark. Bit of blue, bit of burnt sienna. Quite stiff. Otherwise, it'll just merge into the background. Okay, now I want to get something coming down there now. So a good greeny vary the colours, bit of red, bit of sienna, bit of yellow. Pull the loose hairs out. Alright, let's get some darkish green. Got to get contrast, light against dark. Move that. Well, I've got a bit of dark in there. Bit of reflection there. Okay, get your card, you can find it in the mess. Just start to scrape in some rocks, don't overdo it like I'm going to. And then just scrape a bit of no man's land, separate it, show a bit of a ripple there, and go to the other side. I haven't finished that side yet, but there we have got quite a variety of greens there now, and we'll do some on the other side but not as high. We'll put a bit of a sort of a island coming in. Move these back. See, the paper's quite flat now. Just getting some variety in here. Well, that's a good dark, rich green now. Burnt sienna, cad yellow, it's all nice and soft, and a lump of Right, okay, let's just lift out a bit of that. Oh, no detail, just scraped out the card. And all of this is just texture. Don't try to make too much of it. Oh, you can. The viewer puts the detail in. Okay, so I've got that little island there, with a bit of warmer there. And a bit of grass. Okay, I'm going to go back to that, put some grass in and a bit of reflection. I need a bit of detail over there. Just a little bit of dark, just a bit of texture. We want to put in a bit of reflection there. Don't see why not. Okay, that'll do that. Right, now over the top there, we'll put some nice greens. So everyone's some here. Just three colours, the burnt sienna, cad yellow and Payne's grey. Okay, getting there. Really lose myself in this. So. Don't overdo that. I just have. I'll put a little bit of texture in there. Now, when you use the hake, it's just a very light touch. Just feather touch, feather light. Okay, that'll do. I think. I don't really want to put a boat in it. I'll put birds in, of course, because they will be there, but oh, I could do. Oh, I might change my mind. Cover up your blobs. Okay. Now, a bit of wind ruffle. Let's get a thirsty hake, as Ron used to say. Just lift a bit out. Okay, we'll sign it. Oh, I was going to do a bit in here, wasn't I? was going to sign it, wasn't I? Sign it there. Right, put a mount on it. This is my self-isolation. So guys, I hope you're keeping safe. We've had notifications via emails and things that stay in, or only go out in dire emergency, like going to try and fight with everybody else in the supermarket to try to get some sustenance. It really brings out the best and the worst in people, this COVID virus and the stockpiling. Thankfully, my got a son, he's gone to get what shopping he can get for us. I'm always losing my clips. I put them somewhere, then I don't know where they are. So I end up with a mixture. Oh yes, I do. There's one. Clips on my board. I've got a table balancing, well, it's a lump of plywood, about 4 foot by 18 inches. And it lays on the drawer that I pulled out from the box easel. And it's a good arrangement. That means I can do this at this angle. I can work at 80 degree for the oils. Got my camera. It's quite a good setup. Right, let's just take you out. We'll. Okay, there you are. So we've got another one. Never been done before. Total original, but hundreds like it. The same theme. Water. Water, sky. Now, the sky, if you're a beginner and you're worried about your skies, you see how simply I do them. Wet the paper first. It's called wetting wet. And go for it. Just put some colours on and leave it alone. Let it dry, or hair dry it, to fix it. And there we are. Very simple background. You know, I've got this 2 colours here, so I've got 1 plane, 2 planes, 3 planes, 4 planes and 5 planes. Planes. So going from the warm foregrounds to the cool colours in the rest of it, from the middle distance upwards. So I hope you like that one. I'll get it uploaded for you and you can have a go yourself. But don't beat yourself up about all this. It took me a long time to learn to do this, but I hope you think it's worth it. If you want to support me on Patreon, there's a link to it on the video. And for those that do, thank you very much for your much appreciated support. I've got about £50 worth of materials turning up later on. 100 pack of this cheaper paper. I'm preserving what's left of my Saunders Waterford good stuff. So I'll see you later. Stay safe. Bye bye.